NYYST. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Swinging for the fences, knock it out the park. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Christian and Chris, of course SGR. This is New York, Yankee sports talk. Homie, New York, Yankee sports talk. Record, rain or shine, grab your shades and umbrellas. NYYST, you're hanging with the fellas.
Welcome back. This is episode 312 of the NYYST podcast. We are live on NYYNewsTV. I am your host, Christian. As always, joined by my co-host, Chris.
You.
And he's back. SGR.
What up?
What's up? The fellas are back. It's got to be the first time in 6 months that we've all been here together.
Yeah, man.
We said we were going to work on something special for the final episode of 2022, and SGR is back.
Boom.
What's up, bro?
Okay. SGR, he's back. Okay. Long hiatus. Okay. He needed an off season. Okay. 6 long months. Okay. But he's back.
No, seriously, guys, great to be back. I don't know, man. It's a tough year for me and just needed a break from everything. I'm in the process of moving. I just got my own place and it's just finally settled in and I'm ready to jump back into this.
Do you want to go back to June and we'll just go over the whole season with you so you feel caught up?
Yeah, what happened this year?
I
got to send you $20, Christian.
Yeah, I was going to say, bro, if you really want to go over things, show me 20 bills. So in case everybody missed it, Aaron Judge won the MVP, and a while back, Ryan said if a Yankee ever won the MVP again in my lifetime, so I had my entire lifetime for this.
Yeah, there was no payoff for me. It was just I was of the belief it would take, but I always met it with it would take a historic season for a Yankee to win an MVP, and that's exactly what ended up happening.
We got a lot of SGR in the chat going right now.
Oh yeah.
But David Douglas said Pod was not the same without you. Thanks, David.
David.
Yeah, David. To
anybody. Okay. All right. Let me just say something really quick. Okay. To anybody who reached out to SGR.
No, seriously though. But I did see the messages. I saw Chris was keeping me posted on everybody. I was okay, health wise. I wasn't dying or anything. I just needed a break from everything. But I really do appreciate anybody that reached out or was asking for me. It means so much to me. It really does, and that's a big part of why I'm back here. And really, it's for you two as well. The Christian, especially you, man. You're one of the best friends I've made over the last decade of my life. I want to be back with you fellas.
Best friends.
Do another year talking baseball. And you know what, guys? Honestly, it sucked. All I wanted to do was talk about baseball and break things down with you guys because you're the two best that do it. So it's really good to be back. I'm happy that I'm in a better place right now.
Now we're happy you are, and we're happy too, bro. Just on a personal level, dude, you are a really great friend of mine. You're not just my best brother anymore.
Brother.
Okay,
yeah.
No, hold on.
Okay.
When did you graduate to being best friend?
Okay.
Okay, I think it was about
Nicholas Truesdale. Nicholas Truesdale with the super chat. Thank you very much. He said, "I need the Francesa impression going on all show."
I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll integrate it. Okay. I did try doing this before, and I got very tired of doing it. Okay, but
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Christian. Go ahead.
I know David Douglas is a very avid supporter of the show, and I did call him a scumbag a few minutes ago, and I do not apologize for that because if you think the show hasn't been the same without SGR, I take that as direct disrespect towards Chris and I for the job that we've been doing. But yes, we have been missing something without SGR, and we are absolutely happy to have him back. So Ryan, you said you wanted to just jump right in and talk Yankee baseball. And a few days ago, the Yankees landed their number 2, their co-ace, Carlos freaking Rodon is a New York Yankee. What was it? Day after your birthday, right, bro? Thursday. The signing came down. So belated.
They were going to do it Wednesday, and Cashman was like, "Nah, you know what? let's wait one more day.
So belated happy birthday to Chris. Okay, so the news
Thank you.
actually.
Okay.
So I'm not, I don't want to toot our own horn here at NYY News TV, but Pete had it first. Okay, so if you need any more reasoning why you need to subscribe to the channel and be a part of what we're building here, that's it right there. But
yeah, Pete
Carlos,
did have it first.
Pete wrote down.
Pete Rodon. Wait, hold
Carlos,
on. It's Rodon, right? Rodon.
Is that what we're going with?
It's Rodon.
I think I heard him say
I've
it
confirmed
that way.
it.
It's confirmed.
It's Carlos Rodon. And I'm sorry to cut you off. We just got another quick super chat from Nicholas Truesdale again. Thank you very much. He said, in quotes, I got tired of doing the impression in Frances's voice. Haha. Love you, boys. Keep it up. Seriously. Happy holidays to all of you. And God bless you guys. Thanks, Nicholas. We got one from Ra now,
Truesdale.
real quick. Of course, our boy Ra. He said, SGR, what was it like being rescued by Princess Leia after being frozen in carbonite? Love the show, fellas. Merry Christmas, my guys.
I don't
Merry
get that.
Christmas is offensive.
It's a Star Wars
It's
reference,
happy
so
holidays,
you two
okay?
won't get it, but I got it, and I appreciate it.
And so if it was
I'll
meant
see.
for you, that's all that matters. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So Carlos Rodon is now a New York Yankee. Well, it was 6 years, 182. I want to say was the.
I thought it was
reported.
160. Was it 182? Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 30.25 million was the AAV. Hey, listen, we talked about this last week, man. This was the move the Yankees had to go out there and make. They couldn't. There couldn't be this much smoke and not bring this guy home. Now, this is the first time in a real long time that you really felt like the Yankees were all in on an offseason. They brought back Aaron Judge. They re-signed Anthony Rizzo. Tommy Kahnle's a nice addition to this bullpen. And now those were all things that, you could have said, well, Rizzo came on a nice friendly deal, 2 for 34. Tommy Kahnle was like 10, 11 million bucks for the 2 years, which, they had money to spend in the bullpen because Green, Chapman, Britton are gone. And, they had to bring back Judge. Okay. You want to say that those were all things you don't want to give them credit for? That's fine. People pick and choose what they give people credit for, but this is absolutely the first time when you saw the Yankees act like the New York Yankees and getting a free agent since Garrett Cole.
Yeah, and I was right. I don't know why that number popped up. It was 162.
162?
Yeah. But
yeah, I think it was 27, right?
27? Yeah, 27. I thought 30 sounded high. But yeah, a great deal. Yankees had to do it. We said it for weeks leading up to it. And I mean, for me, there's still a couple more moves that need to happen. But at the end of the day,
you're right. It was 162, but I think it was 182.
At the end of the day, the two biggest priorities were getting Judge back and finally shoring up this rotation. Look,
so the Yankees didn't even pay this guy $30 million.
I know, it's crazy.
Wow.
But like, here's the thing: when they got Cole, we were all excited. It was amazing. But how many teams now have to win a World Series with two aces for you to realize that I think you need two aces. I really do. I think it's one. Who won it last year? The Astros. Well, the whole pitching staff pitched like aces for the Astros in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, I mean, they even with Verlander gone, their staff might. I mean, we can dissect this as we get closer to the season, but they might have the best starting rotation in baseball. That's how good these guys are.
It's crazy that this
team, they lost Verlander.
Yeah, the Astros continue to just lose guys, but find guys that just fill the role and make the team better somehow.
You want to know why?
Because they know how to build a.
Well, their scouting department, they're the guys that are doing the drafting. They know what they're doing.
Well, look,
you don't lose Carlos Correa and then the guy you replace him with is a rookie and wins ALCS and I believe World Series MVP.
Yes, he won both.
I thought you lose Correa and then you sign a guy like Donaldson or IKF and replace him.
No, only the Yankees do that. But
I'm trying to find a list of like best pitching duos, and really, this has to be the best Yankee pitching duo, at least on paper, going into the year. Since when do you think? The list I'm looking at had Clemens and Cone back in 99, 2000. But yeah, Clemens Pettit. But
oh yeah,
even that, like Rodon profiles as someone
yeah.
on a
But
higher level.
Remember, Pettit in the playoffs was a different beast.
Right.
So having Clemens Pettit was always a good thing. But yeah, I mean,
it's been a solid 20, 25 years since the Yankees have had this type of rotation.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a nasty rotation.
You got to hope that Nasty Nestor can three-peat and come back and even solidify even more that he's an elite pitcher. Sevy's got it. We get to say this every fucking year. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay healthier than he did last year. And I'll take last year, but
yeah, but he had a great year last year. But you look at this year, and like in years past, you would say if X goes down, they're in a lot of trouble. But I feel like if any of these pitchers go down as far as regular season goes, they'll have another guy come up and take his place for at least temporarily. They won't really skip a beat if
you're gonna have Herman.
Rotation goes down. Right, you got Herman, you got Clark Schmidt, you got Michael King, you got a bunch of long relievers that
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm not messing with King. King's my setup guy. He might even be my closer.
Right?
Is King going to be ready to go for the start of the year?
That's what I heard. Sources.
What about Chad Green? What's his?
He's a free agent.
He's a free agent. Yeah.
He might have to get the Canely type deal.
I don't think he's coming back. I don't think so he's going to be ready because he went down the middle of the year, so it's going to be at least June, July before you can even realistically think about Chad Green. Yeah. Plus, Chad Green's one of those guys where even if he was healthy, you were just kind of like, okay.
He kind of just was just trending in a bad direction, and the injuries just made it worse. Real quick, David Messier. I'm going to call him Messier. I think that's how you say it. Thank you for the super chat. He said, remember, Yankees pitching was pretty good against Houston. Doesn't help when you strike out 12 times. Yeah, but look, here's the thing. And we kind of touched on this last week. Did the Astros, I mean, in the World Series, did the Astros score a lot of runs? I can't remember.
They threw a fucking no-hitter.
I mean,
I think they had one or two games that they broke out, but nothing crazy.
I said this a million times. You can give up 8 runs and be deflated and be done, or you can score only 2 runs. But if your pitching staff is that elite, you go into it with a different mentality, man. It's like we went into this past year questioning Cole in October. He shut us up. And then after that, it was just question upon question. Like, will Nestor be the same guy in October? I don't know. He was hurt and this and that. Will Sevy be able to shake the rust off and be dominant and keep it going? We don't know. A lot of question marks going in. A lot of those guys really proved themselves, especially Cole. And now you're adding Rodon to that.
Houston scored 5-5, 0-5-3-4 in the World Series.
So, I mean, look, yeah, you're right. The Yankees need to solidify the lineup too. We need more. We're about to enter this season with the same problem we had 2 years ago with not having any lefty bats.
Yeah.
I guess the argument that people are using, Rodon, who does he hit? No, he doesn't hit. But that's an irrelevant argument to me. Did this guy make your team better?
Absolutely, it's undeniable.
So you make the move. Whatever moves you can make to make your team better, whether or not it addresses the real problem the team has or not, you still make it. There's an old adage: you can never have too much pitching, right? So if you're adding a guy that profiles as a legit top of the rotation, ace level type guy, why do you have a problem with the Yankees? I don't care what the Yankees offense looks like. If this guy is available and wants to be a Yankee and you can sign him, you sign him. See, look, you're looking at a situation right now where you have Garrett Cole, who, okay, did he have the greatest regular season last year? No, he didn't. He was borderline terrible for what he's supposed to be. But come October, I mean, he was every bit the ace he's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
You have Nestor Cortez, who pitched like an ace in the regular season and pitched on really guts last year in the postseason, because I think we all realized that how hurt he really was. You know, Severino, who is as good as anybody when healthy. And then you got this complete unknown in Frankie Montas, who could profile to be another guy that could be like a 2 or 3 if he's healthy. So you want to, if you can add to that, a guy that at the very worst, you're hoping he solidifies the number 2 spot in your rotation. Hopefully, at the high end, is a guy that's pushing Garrett Cole to be the ace of his staff. That's not something you thumb your nose at. Did you want the Yankees to bring back Jameson Taillon because the Yankees pitched okay enough in October? No, this is a definite upgrade for this rotation, and it's a move that had to be made.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up because I said this to someone. One of my buddies was saying, you know, he was not pissed they brought Judge back, but he was also like deflated because he thought that meant they weren't going to sign anymore because of the contract, right? Same thing goes with after they sign Rodon. Why are we in this mindset? And I guess I have my answer. It's the Yankee front office over the last handful of years. But we sign Rodon, and it's just like, does that mean we still can't make the offense better? Like, we fucking better. Like, as fans, we're like, oh, we got Rodon, but he's not the, you know, pitching wasn't the reason. No, but pitching can always get better, and you can still improve. Like, this is the fucking Yankees, man. They're starting to prove a little bit more now that they're willing to get the guys they need to get. Let's give it some time. It's still the offseason. They still need to make moves. We can still be excited about getting a guy like fucking Rodon right now and putting him in the rotation. Both things can be true.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they were teetering with, you just said like they're the Yankees. Tweeter. That they are the Yankees. Yeah, they're number 2. But I think this offseason was a true test of, are they still the Yankees, or are they just going to be like every other team in baseball? And that's what made me fall in love with this team, is that they never were like any other team. It was always the Yankees and everyone else. And I think Hal did a great job to kind of shut up that narrative of this team doesn't spend, this team doesn't want to win, and all of that. It shut me up for sure. I had Judge going to the Giants. I had them not making any big moves, but does Steve Cohen have a lot to do with that? Does his bolstering of the Mets and trying to make them better?
I think it was more the booze that Hal heard at the end of the, during the season. But we were kind of talking about this towards the end of the year. Like, there's so many times you can question Cashman and Hal and their intentions and what they're doing with this organization. But if they let Judge walk, that would have been the end of the New York Yankees as we know them, as we grew up to know them. And that was something that needed to be done, obviously. And then they followed it up a week later with the best available starting pitcher that they could get.
Well, this is where you give a lot of credit to Hal Steinbrenner, man, and people still don't want to give him credit for this offseason. You have to give him credit. He said, "I'm not going to let Aaron Judge go." He didn't. He knew what it took to keep Aaron Judge here. He had him on the phone. He met the demands that Judge wanted to keep his franchise player, right? And he also, in the negotiations, told Judge, "Hey, look, I can sign you and still improve this team." And he did. It's not like, okay, what would have been because I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. We'll say Player X. Player X is a marginal upgrade over Jameson Taillon, but he cost $80 million, right? And then you could say, well, we got bet. No, but he went out there and they procured the best free agent starter on the market. And they gave this guy twice what Jameson Taillon got. So you can see the Yankees' level of commitment to improving the team and keeping their promise to Aaron Judge. And I said it on this show numerous times, man. I saw it with the Giants, bro. The booing got to John Mara to the point where he said, "I'm not doing this shit the same way anymore." And then I questioned, when would Hal get to that point? He got to, I'll be honest with you, he got to it a lot faster than I thought he would. He got to it this offseason because I think he realized, whether it's purely business or his ego, or he really does truly care about this team winning, whatever point you want to say it was, he did not want to do this anymore. He wanted to show his fan base, for whatever reason it was, that he was in it more than you thought he was in it.
I agree, man.
Totally.
So Hal Steinbrenner, man, he we said it last week, bro. He put his nuts on the table when it came to Aaron Judge, and he kept him on there when it came out to getting another big free agent. The Yankees have spent $500 million on 2 players. And granted, one of them was Aaron Judge, and one of them and Aaron Judge, they should have never had to get to that point, but it did get to that point. And the Yankees made sure that he didn't go anywhere. And then they went out in there, and people were like, oh, they're never going to have another 2009 type spending spree. Well, they kind of did. CeCe, Teixeira, and Burnett, the salaries are, but this is kind of what they put out in that year, that this type of money. And then you factor in what it took to bring back Rizzo and what it took to bring Canely in here. The Yankees are for the first time in a long time, you can say the Yankees are in it to be significant players.
To win it, to win it. Dog.
That's a no for me, dog.
That's a Randy Jackson effect.
Okay, I don't know who that is. All right.
Okay,
go ahead.
So this is the first time, like we said, that was such a great day when Aaron Judge came. Maybe not for SGR. We know that SGR doesn't like Judge, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, not a fan.
But we said it was a great day when the Yankees brought this guy back. It's also a great day when they sign a Carlos Rodon, whatever. I can't
Rodon.
Think of it ROW.
Okay, like your mom.
Uh-huh. Okay, Rodon.
Not your mom. Okay. And it's also a great day when they go out there and they back it up by signing another $100+ million guy. This is what the Yankees do. This is what we want them to do. The Yankees have 2 great advantages. One is that they have a deep farm system for guys that they can go out there and procure in the trade market. And for whatever reason, Brian Cashman fucks that up all the time, right? The other great advantage is money. Is money. And the Yankees are using that advantage this offseason. And you gotta love it, man. It's great to see.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I hate to harp on this, but you still have to hope that they're not done. Like, you still have to hope that this team has a few more tricks up its sleeve, and they can reassure, the lineup, because we do need. Look, letting Benny go, especially with the contract he signed.
Yeah,
I didn't like it because I really like him. I like the way he profiles in this lineup.
I think there's something. Honestly, I think there is something to him not wanting to live in New York, because apparently Pete and I were discussing this before you guys came on, that he could live close. He lives in Ohio somewhere, so he can live kind of in the middle. Because we heard rumblings that he didn't really want to live in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Although New Jersey's nice, huh?
No, it's not.
I mean, yes, it is compared to New York City. You live in the suburbs.
Oh, for
yeah,
you'd be a Yankee Stadium in a half hour.
Yeah,
well, 3.5 hours for traffic. But he could leave at 1. I mean, he could leave at 1 o'clock for a 7 o'clock game, and he get there in a half hour.
You think
by the third inning?
Wait, was it traffic that he had an issue with?
Yeah, look, Brian, I like the years, I like the money, but the traffic is just
really holding.
You turned down.
He chooses Chicago, the next biggest city.
I don't know. I'm speculating, bro.
No, that's a fair speculation.
The Yankees were apparently in on Benintendi for 3 or 4 years. They didn't want to push to 5, right? Okay, and then you see what he got. He got $15 million a year. Now, this is, again, smarter Yankees. Okay? And by the way, if you go to NYYNewsTV.com, click the shop tab. Now you can own a Smarter Yankees t-shirt.
Absolutely.
Okay?
I need to get me one of those.
Smart.
We're just talking this team up, right? About how they're all in. But I get the sense that they didn't want it. Now, whether or not Benintendi really wanted to come here, I think if you look, it's always about money, right, guys? It's always about fucking money. CC Sabathia didn't want to be a Yankee. until he got the type of money that he
Right.
got. And then he wanted to be a Yankee or didn't want to play on the East Coast or whatever it was.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, Garrett Cole wanted to play out in California until the Yankees broke records to sign him. So it's always about the money. Aaron Judge, since he was a little boy, wanted to play for the San Francisco Giants until they broke records to sign him. Okay, people don't want it. People are loyal to one thing nowadays: money, and that's fine, and I have no problem with that. So if the Yankees would have put a contract in front of Ben, you don't mean to tell me the Yankees went 6 for 100 with Benintendi? He would have been like, "No, I really want to play
The traffic,
the traffic,
and the toll to
No.
get over the bridge. It's just so much."
He would have been a Yankee. They didn't want to go that far. And again, smarter Yankees. Why do I have the feeling it's because they think Jason Dominguez is going to be ready to play for this team in 2024? Have we not seen enough with this stopgap bullshit? That's why you keep hearing them link. Oh, Michael Conforto 1 year, 2 years possibly. They could go trade for Max Kepler, who's on the final year of his deal. That's why you keep hearing these names pop up, because these are short-term stopgap solutions. Okay? And I don't care what Jason Dominguez could be. I care about the fact that the Yankees have exhibited that they're all in on this offseason, except for now, it seems like they're waiting for another kid in the minor leagues.
You know how when someone has like a near-death experience, they say like, "Stop living for tomorrow, every minute, blah, blah, blah." It's true, right? The Yankees have to get into that mentality. Stop living for next year and the year after, because I say this all the time. By the time you wait for these kids to come up, even if they're great, who else is on this team by then? A fucking a washed up Stanton, a washed up Judge, a washed up Cole, because you sign these guys pretty long term now, which I'm fine with. But when you do something like that, you better fucking make these moments count the most when they're in their primes. You can't wait anymore, or else those contracts look ridiculous. You need to be ridiculous now. You need to be irresponsible now. You need to spend money like you're going crazy, so that in 8 years from now, 9 years from now, Judge is limping around without a ring, and we look back and say, well, that was kind of a waste. You don't want to do that. You don't want to look back on the Cole contract and say, holy shit, we signed him for all that. Yeah, we needed him, but they still didn't win a World Series.
And then end of the day too, you could have all the top 100 prospects in the league, but until they come up and prove that they're what they're told to be, you don't know what you have. Look at what the Red Sox just had happen with their prospect they traded Mookie Betts for, Jeter Downs. They cut him. He's off the team.
Well, all we got to do is look at our own organization. We developed one star. One.
Yeah.
One.
Greg
David
Bird, Gary Sanchez. I mean, do we need to go down the list? Even Gleyber Torres isn't what he was supposed to be as a top 1 to 3 prospect, depending on where you looked in the entire in all of baseball.
Even the prospects we got here on like trades that were supposed to be great, Torres definitely not living up to what he was expected to be.
Mm-hmm.
Clint Frazier DFA'd, Tyler Austin in a different country. I mean, who else?
Greg Bird.
What's the douchebag's name? Chance Adams.
Yeah. You're right.
Sheffield, the pitcher.
Our own organization.
Real quick, David, thanks for the super chat again. He said Judge took less money to come home. He wanted his 9th year. Giants offered $285 for 9, and Padres were $400 for 10. So he did take a discount.
He did take it. I mean,
it wasn't official, but
from what I read, that the Padres were going to go over 400, but stretch it out over 14 years, which apparently, according to some,
denied,
would have been illegal, because they would have been just doing that to manipulate the tax threshold, which I don't. The Padres just seem to be one team that just doesn't care.
But they got turned down by quite a few players.
Trey Turner turned down their money.
Yeah.
It took a ridiculous overpay for Xander Bogaerts to lock him up. What was it, 11,280?
Something like that. Yeah.
Xander Bogaerts got paid like an elite shortstop, and he's good.
He's great.
He's great, but he's not
top level.
Not that kind
11
of
years is a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't even get 300. There's like 4 or 5 guys in the last 2 years who got 300 million. So I mean, he didn't get paid like
he's
the top
older.
guys.
He's older though, right?
Is he 29? He might be
I
29
think
or
he's
30.
28. I looked up 28 or 29.
He's 30.
But
So
he's
Wow.
Jesus.
Oh, Correa was 28.
Yeah, let's congratulate the San Francisco Giants on finally signing somebody. Okay.
Okay.
So not only did the Yankees were like, no, you're not getting Aaron Judge, but we're gonna take your ace as well.
Yeah, man.
And here's
That's a great move.
And then they open the season against them.
Yeah, we talked about that. Like that was one of the things that if Judge was leaving, like I would have been not that I would have been okay with it, but if he would have went to San Diego, that would have been one thing. You couldn't have him in Yankee Stadium on opening day in the Giant uniform. Like that could not have happened. There would have been literal riots outside of Yankee Stadium had that happened.
For sure.
But back to left field. I mean, would you say this is the biggest hole, the biggest weakness this team has right now?
No, I actually wouldn't, because if at the end of the day,
okay, here we go.
As long as Aaron Hicks isn't on this team, if at the end of the day you're telling me that Oswaldo Cabrera is going to play out there, I like what the kid did.
No.
Okay, I don't care what you say. I like what the kid did. All I'm saying is, do I want them to get someone? Of course. But again, we're going to go back to this just like last week where we went back and forth here. It's not my top priority. My top priority is you had an opportunity to put a legitimate shortstop out there.
I'm past shortstop though. I already told you this. If
Oswald
Peraza is my opening day shortstop, I'm past complaining about these all-stars. This is what I wanted them to do last year. If you were going to go get IKF, why did Peraza just not start the friggin' season as the shortstop? All he needed to do was have his back come along. All right. So what? He couldn't do that at the major league level. If you think if these kids are this frail where they can't hit 160 for a few weeks before they figure it out, they're never going to be anything anyway.
I agree.
And what did IKF do? Did he tear the cover off the ball like he was Derek Jeter in 1999? No. So what the fuck did it matter if you put Peraza up here?
Right. You told us you got him for his defense anyway.
It was atrocious.
And guess what? The defense was fucking abysmal.
I'm okay with playing the kids at shortstop now. I'm past it. We know what the Yankees' plan is. I'm not okay. Okay with.
So
now,
you're telling me it's going to be one of the kids?
Yes.
I personally think IKF is your shortstop on opening day.
I think so too.
I would be honest to God. I would be stunned if Peraza is not the shortstop on opening day.
Okay, are you that naive with this team?
But I really believe at this point. Look, you were on the train about being positive. I'm positive. I'm on the train about being positive that IKF is not going to be the starting shortstop.
Okay.
Dude, if that's the case, then fine. I'll turn my attention. Actually, I'm gonna actually jump on your side now. My second, I'd say before I'm even thinking about left field at this point, is third base. Then I want Donaldson gone. That's okay. Then that's my.
Now he wants Donaldson gone.
No, I did last week too, but you just don't like to listen to me and actually absorb it.
Oh, I don't want.
It's just not my.
Donaldson
it wouldn't have been my
third base.
top.
I love him.
No,
I'm sending. I sent him a fruit basket for Christmas.
Listen, if you're telling me that IKF and Donaldson are not starting for the Yankees on opening day, then fine. Left field is where I'm turning my attention.
The Yankees need a legitimate outfielder.
But they don't if they had a legitimate shortstop who could hit or a legitimate third baseman that could hit.
Well, they have a legitimate third baseman, whether you think he can hit or not.
He's a fucking phenomenal defensive third baseman.
And look, we can argue about this. I read again today, DJ LeMahieu is not having surgery and he's going to be ready for opening day.
I think that's going to bite him in the ass. I really do.
It will.
So right there, I mean, if I'm going to take him at his word that he's healthy, we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. Who was the last
guy who was supposed to get surgery, said he didn't need it, and then
it's happened. I can't unless you know who it is.
I forget who it was, but it happened fairly recently.
I can't think of who.
And we were just
Was it
like,
Luke
bro,
Voigt? Luke Voigt?
oh, it might have been.
He played through that bad injury and
No, he got the
still
surgery.
raked.
I think it was
the
a
core
pitcher.
muscle injury. Was
I'm
it
pretty
Severino?
sure it was a pitcher, and we were
Might
just
have
like,
been.
bro, why didn't you get the surgery?
It was Severino because this is when
Right.
you got punched on the pod.
Yeah.
Because I was watching that clip the other day, and you and I were arguing because what we were talking about was Severino.
Yes.
They went the conservative route without surgery.
I don't remember the conversation.
And then that's what got you all worked up. And then what did you say, Ryan? Pop.
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 I have the video. I'll have to post it on the main feed later of the punch on the pod.
Great.
What a moment in time.
That was great. That was exhilarating, dude.
The best part of it though is really for us, because only we knew, when you're watching the video, only we knew what was happening, where Christian's in a serious debate with me, and then he just it's very uncharacteristic of him. He like skips a beat and he starts
right.
going,
yeah, because I tapped him on the leg, like,
I'm
like, once I tap you on the leg, that means I'm about to do it.
And like, and then I thought he was laughing at me, and then my face turns bright red, and I'm like, "What are you for?" And then, great.
Yeah, follow if you're in the chat right now. Follow us if you're not already at NYYST_podcast. As soon as we're done recording, I'm going to post a video of the punch on the pod. If you have not seen it, or if you just want to see it again. It is the wildest moment in the history of the show. Chris had a concussion, double concussion, because didn't your face smack the microphone?
Well,
yeah, a jackpack. You got a little
it wasn't the punch that hurt, like, because you had the big inflatable thing. It was the whiplash of my head not expecting.
Right.
So okay. So you want LeMahieu doesn't think he needs surgery. Will he end up needing surgery? Time will tell. I mean, history points to it, yes. But to me, that's why third base isn't that big of a problem, because, okay, Donaldson, we say we get what
I was saying last week.
If we get what we want, that Donaldson's not here, then LeMahieu plays third base.
But here's my thing, right? I guess at the end of the day, the position part of it, like the defensive position, is arbitrary to me. You can't tell me left field's a priority over this position or that position. For me, I need a legitimate hitter in this lineup. I need one more guy. I don't care if he's
and that's why Benintendi.
I don't care if he's a third baseman, a left fielder, anyone.
Okay, so I'm anticipating LeMahieu on this team anyway, so I still needed that other guy. Where I thought Benintendi, if you would have started this, the Yankees will never do this, which would fucking infuriate me to no end. That if they had a healthy LeMahieu and they brought back Benintendi, they'd still bat Judge second, even though to me that's pretty stupid. I would still kind of want the Yankee. Would you say that the Judge should bat third in a situation like that? Or do you think that LeMahieu should have been dropped in the order? Because Benintendi would have had to have hit in the top of the lineup. We saw how terrible he was when the Yankees decided he was a 7-hitter or a 6-hitter.
You gotta specify. Are we talking DJ healthy and the DJ we know that puts the ball in play? And
are we going on any other assumption? If you're going to assume that he's injured, then it's a whole different argument that we're having.
If we're having the argument of the DJ we've seen over the last couple seasons, then, it's a completely different argument. If he's healthy and ready to go and he's truly 100%, to me, you're absolutely wasting DJ LeMahieu protecting guys down in the middle or lower half of the order. He's got to be up there too. I would have said Benny, DJ, and then Judge for sure.
And this is another reason why. All right, you wanted to, if you sell me on a stopgap, right? Sell me on it, right? Okay, so this is how you do it. Michael Brantley just went back to the Astros 1 year, $12 million, right?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I know he's had his injury problems, but you could sell me on that much more than you can sell me on Kepler or Conforto, because what value are those guys going to bring? They're guys that you're going to hope that's going to hit you 25, 30 home runs. That's their value. Brantley's value is a bat on ball guy.
Yep.
The Yankees need another guy like that in this lineup. That's why Benintendi made so much sense for this team.
To me, like the point you're making right now, if you're going to bring in Kepler, just save your money and just fucking put Cabrera out there.
No, I don't want him out there.
Why?
Because I just don't want him out there.
Why?
Because I don't have.
Was
to
he
give you
not
an answer.
great?
He was good. He was sufficient. I wouldn't say he was a great outfielder. You watched him and said, "Wow, he was a great outfielder." He reminds me of fucking Ken Griffey Jr. out there.
Brantley was the one guy left that would have been like that different bat for the lineup, but
right.
His defense had to be what kept them from pulling the trigger on any sort of deal for him. Because
and I think it's his
do you
injury.
feel confident having him out there in left field in the 8th inning in a 1-run game?
Jesus Christ! I mean, what about Aaron Hicks? Would you feel him confident defensively?
Sure.
Yeah.
For the other team.
I mean, I would feel more so, I guess, than maybe Michael Brantley, but I haven't watched Brantley play a lot, but I don't think he
played 64
up to the standard
games last year. So, I mean, that's could also be the case. He wasn't in the postseason run for them. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that could also be in the Yankees line of thinking. But I'm saying if you're going to Conforto didn't play baseball last year either. So, right. I mean, if we're looking at injured guys, if you're trying to sell me on a stopgap, sell me on the stopgap. And Michael Conforto is not it. Even if he hits 40 home runs in the regular season, he has this resurgence. He slugs, and he's got an OPS of 900. Do you feel better about this team going into the postseason?
Nah, not against elite pitching.
No. And that's why I feel like if you wanted to say like Michael Brantley could have been a guy that could have changed up this lineup a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I don't want I don't want Max Kepler. Okay. I'm half German, half Italian. Okay. And the German side of me is like, you guys got enough fucking Italians on this team. Okay. What about a German guy? Mm-hmm. All right. But Brian Cashman should be fucking banned from trading with the Minnesota Twins after what he did last year. No more Twins on this team.
Yeah, for sure. He needs a sponsor that like he calls when he's
just
tempted to call the GM.
No more trading with
that itch.
No more trading with Oakland A's for guys that you think are their A's. That's it. You're done.
Yeah, fool me once.
Yeah, right. Twice. It's like he walks into Hal's office and he's just like, Hal, listen.
It's different. No, this time it is different. This guy just got Tommy John. And we want him. Yeah, who's got a Tommy John?
We got two.
Brandy just texted me. He said, "It's great to see Ryan back."
Wow, sweet.
He's watching
Thanks,
the
Chris.
show. Wow,
good to hear that.
Okay, Chris. Okay.
Chris, go ahead.
I texted you this. That
thanks. I guess. Okay.
As much as we love the signings of Rodon and Canely, we all know why Brian Cashman picked these two guys.
Fucking Tommy John.
They're Tommy John guys.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. Before we get into any negotiations, have you had Tommy John?
Yeah,
no.
I'm good. Yeah, it was really hard to let Tyone go, not because of his stuff, but because he's had 2 Tommy Johns, and that was always something special for me. I wanted to give him that big deal, but couldn't do it.
David, another super chat, dude. You're gonna go broke, okay? He said, no more Twins or Oakland bad experience. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Oakland doesn't have anyone that you can trade for anymore.
Yeah, they're all gone.
They're gone.
But in 4 or 5 years, when Brian Cashman is still here, and they develop somebody in the minor leagues, and the Yankees need starting pitching,
it's wild.
So.
Who lasts longer, Brian Cashman or Aaron Judge?
Brian Cashman will go until we turn into fucking cyborgs. He'll be half robot, fucking beep up. Put the arm on him. Yeah, Tommy John.
Brian Cashman could have a terminal illness and he'd cryogenically freeze his head to still run this baseball team.
And still make an excuse that why they lost.
I like the process.
I trust the process. We learned that from the 76ers, and we're following the Joel Embiid method because that did a lot of good for the Philadelphia 76ers, and we just want to replicate that.
How many NBA titles have the 76ers won with that process?
Zero.
0. Oh man.
So I mean, to me, the Yankees need to bring in a left fielder, a legitimate outfielder, but I just don't know what's left out there. You hear, people think the Yankees are going to go out there and get one of these guys from Arizona. Okay, but Arizona's not going to give any of their outfielders away. Where do you see? I mean, really, I think, and I don't think I'm off base in saying this, I think the Yankees are going to go with whatever the cheapest option is, whether that be in terms of money or prospects, what they feel is the least cost, whatever costs them the least, I get it is the way I want to say this, either Conforto or Kepler, because I'm telling you, they want in their minds Jason Dominguez to be the left fielder in 2024. And keep in mind, here's another good reason to sign Andrew Benintendi, or they should have signed Andrew Benintendi. We're looking at this like the Yankees have right field and center field locked up. They don't. Harrison Bader's a free agent at the end of the year. Are the Yankees extending Harrison Bader?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. And I like Bader too. He's another guy I really like in this lineup.
But I don't know what he is offensively, and I don't think that you're looking at Harrison Bader to be a key cog in this offense. Whatever Bader gives you, just like look, the way I look at it, you can carry two guys in a lineup like this, right? Whatever they give you offensively is a bonus, and that's Jose Trevino and that's Harrison Bader. Whatever they give you offensively is a bonus. If Trevino's going to hit 240, 250 and pop 10 home runs, that's more than enough for what he does behind the plate.
Right.
But again, do I want Kyle Higashioka to be the backup again? No, I think the Yankees need to kind of give me something different back there.
Higgy bombs.
But again,
how about Charlie Blackmon? Get him over here. I'm looking up free agents for next year. So big contracts coming off. His contract expires he's a free agent in 2024, and his 6-year, $108 million contract will expire. That's the kind of guy I wouldn't mind getting, because you're talking stopgap. That makes sense to go for a guy on a 1 or 2 year deal.
You're saying the Yankees should trade for him?
Yeah, trade for Charlie Blackmon, because he's coming off. He'll be a free agent at the end of next season.
Hey, it's something. I mean, you got the in with Cashman. Maybe you could let him know. Maybe
here's the problem that we've seen ever since the Yankees became a prospect nurturing team when they rebuilt, or whatever you want to call it, in 2016. We've really seen the Yankee tax when it comes to rentals. Like that's where you really see it the most, where teams want the Yankees to overpay drastically for a name like Blackmon. And that's why things like that haven't gotten done. Yeah, he got Rizzo. Yeah, he got Gallo at the trade deadline, but that's not a Charlie Blackmon right now. Charlie Blackmon is still in his prime, right? I mean,
he's fallen off the last couple of years, I want to say, but he's still a good player. I think he's not worth the money he's getting paid anymore.
Well, neither is Wash Donaldson, but
yeah, we'll take it.
But I was just thinking about this about Max Kepler, right? The Twins are looking to move him, or do you hear that his name's on the trade block? Right?
Yeah.
And they just signed Joey Gallo. So they're prioritizing Joey Gallo over Max Kepler.
Well, no shift. Joey Gallo could have a whole new career ahead of him.
Okay, Joey Gallo.
Oh boy. Another super chat from Davey.
God damn it, Ryan.
What do you do for a living?
This is Ryan's doing.
Yeah.
What do you do?
He said,
I gotta sit out for 6 months more.
Hey, maybe trade for Chris Bryant, use him in left this year.
Nope.
And then he can play third for the next 3 years of his contract.
Good player, but he's too much of the same thing. Like, if you're going to go out and get someone, I think they need to deviate from what they do. And that's where those guys don't.
$1 billion. Like, this guy's owed a shit ton of money for like the next 5 years.
Yeah. Pretty sure, yeah. Because he just signed what? A couple
Right,
years ago?
last offseason.
Yeah,
Right,
big
last offseason.
Yeah,
Right?
big deal.
Yeah.
let's look that up. I'm interested. I just looked at this because
Yeah, what
I think
they gave him that huge deal after they let Arenado walk.
Yeah.
this was just brought up in the chat. But I think our boy Arby brought this up, Chris Bryant, and I looked at the contract and I'm just like, I don't think so, dude. That's not. Look, I know it's the Yankees and you really shouldn't think about money, but I don't want to be stupid with money. Like this would be stupid to bring Chris Bryant in here.
Yeah. I mean, here's my thing. If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna make a move, like just like SGR just said, give me something different. Like a Chris Bryant move. I'm not talking shit about Chris Bryant. He's a good baseball player, but he's just the same guy. It's the same guy. He was great at one point or
So
another.
roughly, the Yankees would be, if the Yankees did, let's say the Yankees made that trade, it'd be 6 years and $160 million. They'd be on the hook for
That's
if Colorado
crazy,
if Colorado took no money. So I'm really not. I'm sorry, I'm really not interested in that. And I think he had a terrible year last year. If I want to look that up as well, Chris Bryant, he hit 306, but in 160 at bats, so he was hurt. He played 42 games last year. He played a full season the year before. So he was hurt. I mean, I don't know, dude. That's just not something I'm looking at. Like, if you want to tell me 1 year,
it sounds like Josh Donaldson all over again.
No, worse. This is way worse. If the Yankees took him on, don't give Brian Cashman any ideas.
Yeah, seriously. Ra, thanks for another super chat. We're getting multiple super chats from the same people. Apologize for the Merry Christmas wishes. I should have said Happy Holidays. Secondly, I'm going to need Cashman to go all out for Reynolds. Lastly, I need Christian and Chris Jr. to watch Star Wars. No, thank you.
No, sorry.
The originals are good. The originals are good.
I've seen the original 3 movies. Okay. I
Never
not like
saw
I
them,
can say that I've never seen them. They just didn't. They didn't do it for me. Okay, like people are like Star Wars. It made me cry.
I dress up when I go in the theater now.
No, dude. Like it's Star Wars. It's okay. Like if that's your thing, okay. I got my thing. You got your thing. All right. So
hey, it's like Luke. I'm your father. It's like.
Oh Jesus. We needed this.
Yeah.
So Oswaldo Cabrera sucks.
Yeah. Well, look, dude. Here's the problem with debating left field. It's the bar is set so low with Aaron Hicks that as long as it's not Aaron Hicks, I'm happy.
What position does Michael Taylor play?
Michael A. Taylor?
Yeah. Is he an outfielder?
He's a center fielder.
Center fielder. Nah. He'd be kind of cool, though.
Yeah, he's like a defensive replacement, though, dude. He's not somebody I'd want to play 140 times.
Yeah, I just saw his name was the Royals were looking to move him.
Yeah, because when the Yankees were interested in Benintendi, people were bringing him up, too, that the Yankees had called about him because Andrew Benintendi wasn't vaccinated, so they took the Yankees out of running for him.
Yeah.
We should have known not to trust John Heyman after he said that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking John Heyman, dude. What a loser, man.
Dude.
How funny is it, though, that he gets the judge call wrong, but then he's the one that breaks that Rodon went to the Yankees.
Yeah. Everyone's like, dude.
Awful.
Dude, take a seat. Like, he shouldn't have tweeted the rest of the offseason after that.
You're done.
They need to put a delay on them.
Yeah.
You got a 2-minute delay from now on. You can't tweet until 2 minutes. You get 2 minutes, so everyone else can break it while you're just waiting for yours to go through.
So it was Heyman was the first one. Well, we knew about it first, okay? But out of the quote, real beat writer type guys, the jerk offs out there, he was the first one, right?
The first jerk off, yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
So so when that happens now, you don't take him at his word. You wait for the next guy to come in.
Right. You're like, oh, but Heyman tweeted it. Let's wait for a credible source.
So it's like, no matter what he does, like if he breaks a big story, you don't believe it till you get somebody else to back it up now.
Right.
And it's unfortunate for him.
It is. It's his own fault. Life's all about choices.
Yeah, he chose to he chose to go with it. Okay, and
Yeah.
now look what it got him.
That's it.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
I heard that people used to like him and now they don't like him anymore.
Oh, now you know why. Not
Well,
only
because
did he get the tweet wrong, by the way,
he spelled
he
his name
couldn't
wrong.
even.
They spelled an arson judge. Right?
It was
Yeah.
like a 2-year-old getting a phone for the first time and hearing news and having to be like, "Ooh!"
Yeah, right.
So quick. He thinks he's
I
breaking
got
one
fat
of the
thumbs. What can I say?
biggest stories of all time, and he can't even get it right.
Yeah, and then
He
he
did that
backed
once
up the
before too. I think with Mookie Betts.
he did, but he backed up the arson judge tweet because he tweeted that Cole Hamels, who hasn't pitched in a couple
Yeah, Cole
years,
Hamels. That's who it was.
was looking to get back into baseball this year, and he called him Coke Hamels.
Coke Hamels.
He did mess up Mookie Betts' name. Somebody found the tweet. I can't remember what he called him.
I'll try to find it.
Yeah, so I mean, if you had to put a right now, because this is and I'm going to say 99% sure this is our last show of the year. We said we're leaving the door open in case something wild happens in the next week and a half. If you had to put a grade on the Yankees offseason so far, what would you give them?
Let me think about it for 1 second. I'll give it a B plus, B plus, because you. I know Judge is the franchise guy and you needed to do it. I agree, but also, and I know that you fucked it up and could have done it a lot smoother and cheaper a while back. But putting all that aside, in my opinion, Aaron Judge is the best player in baseball right now. So, yeah, they did what they had to do, but they still signed the best player in baseball. Yeah. Right? So that's one. Okay. And then Rodon was out there. You had to get him. Just like we kept saying they had to get Cole. They got him. So I'll give him a B. I'll give him a B plus. I mean,
I don't know. I guess I'm between an A or an A minus just because of the Benintendi situation. But I mean, you went out and you re-signed your MVP and you brought in another ace in a crazy market. This offseason's market was wild compared to at least the last few years. It wasn't this driven up. So they went out and did what they had to do in a competitive market. I gotta give them an A minus for going out there and proving, fans like myself wrong, that I thought they were just like everyone else, and they're not. I mean, then that's kind of what they needed to do this offseason.
Yeah, and
then you go out and you trade for a guy. They're going to be a playoff team every year. You make that move for an outfielder in June or July.
Yep. And real quick, David just went negative in his bank account. He had left us another super chat.
Jesus.
He said, and I don't know how true this is. I'm trying to look it up here on Twitter. He's saying, update, Yankees and Conforto might be nearing a deal.
Huh. And it was it was Moose Betts, by the way.
Moose Betts, that's right.
It was
Moose Betts.
Moose Betts.
Moose Betts and Arson Judge. That's like an 80s WWE
and Coke Hamels.
Yeah, and Coke Hamels. I mean, come on.
Moose Betts and Arson Judge. They challenged the LOD for the WWF tag team titles at WrestleMania. I don't know if you guys were there for that, but I remember watching it.
Okay.
Yeah. So this guy David, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Does this guy have kids that he's got to buy Christmas presents for, or what's going on here?
I think he's gonna be shaking a can at ShopRite. Okay.
I'm seeing the Rangers are close on a deal with Conforto. So
I have nothing current.
Marlins are in on it too. Not seeing anything with the Yankees. I mean, I don't know.
I'm not gonna shed tears if Michael Conforto goes to another team. I really look. Do you want to take the upside on him that he can he's healthy and he hits 25, 30 home runs and he drives it and be a guy that could drive in 80 runs?
Damn, man. To take a year off from this sport, it's sports in general, but baseball, to not see live pitching, like the elite pitching for a year.
Moose Betts, though, dude.
Right.
Moose. Yeah. Hey, Moose.
I don't know.
So Michael Conforto, I'm looking at his numbers, dude. He's had OPS of 840, 725, 939, 797, 856, 927, 729, and he didn't play last year. So, I mean, he's been, I don't know, man. Like,
well, he had a stretch where people were running him out of town, that he was a bust, that he was nothing. And he kind of had a resurgence.
well, look, if you look, he had in 2017, he was an all-star. He had 27 home runs, and in fact, 28, 33. COVID year, he had 9, and then 2021, he had 14. He played 125 games, so he was hurt that year. I mean, I don't know, dude. Do you want to take a risk on Michael Conforto that he could hit 20? It seems like he'll max out at around 25. You want to take that risk? What does it do for the Yankees to sign Michael Conforto?
Yeah, dude. If you're gonna take a risk on a guy that has a higher ceiling. Honestly, Conforto doesn't even like. At least if they got Chris Bryant at one time excited you. Conforto's never been that guy.
No, I think Conforto has a high ceiling. I think you would rather have a guy with a high floor come to the Yankees at this point, and I think his floor is very, very low. That he could come out and be a complete bust and shell of himself.
His highest on, if you don't count the COVID years, he's had on bases of 335, 310, 384, 350, 363, 344. So, I mean, I don't know, dude. He just doesn't strike me as the type. The numbers they look good, right? The numbers look good, but he just doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to change the outlook of this lineup.
Yeah, no. He's not a game changer.
Neither is Andrew Benintendi, but he fit what the Yankees needed in this lineup.
Yeah, I think
that's the key of it all.
In that context, though, I think that's why it was such a smart move to go after him, especially at that deal that he took, because he's a guy you can sign for that kind of deal, but make a huge impact on this team, and the risk is very low. That injury last year was a freak thing. It's not like he pulled a hamstring that he's pulled 20 different times.
No, I'm not.
There's really no risk. He profiles great in this lineup. He's a lefty bat, and he's a great outfielder.
He's not a guy who's looking to pull the ball and hit 25 home runs.
Everything made too much sense. I'm not trying to knock the Yankees in the front office because I do that enough, and I think that they deserve a lot of credit so far. But that one was a head scratcher for me.
Look, if you're telling me that no matter what the Yankees put in front of him, he really preferred to get out of New York, it is what it is, right? If you're telling me the Yankees didn't want to go a 4th year, a 5th year because they're waiting on Jason Dominguez, that I have a problem with.
Yeah.
This kid had a cup of coffee in Double-A last year. So now you mean to tell me that if this is what the plan is, and I don't know that it is, I'm just using Yankee logic based off of what they did last year. That you mean to tell me this kid's going to be ready to be a starter in 24 after a full, you want to say he's going to start the year in Somerset, then he's going to have to be moved up to Scranton. That's a guy that you're going to pencil in to be your everyday left fielder next year. I mean, we saw the Yankees punt on a shortstop class for Volpe, who at the time hadn't even seen Double-A pitching yet.
Right.
So that's the reason why I'm making that point, because I'm using what they've just done in recent times.
Right.
I think you're dead on though. I didn't
think of it that way, honestly.
I actually wouldn't even think of any other scenario. That is dead on for me.
Me too.
It's exactly why they passed on all the shortstops. It's the same thing, just like you said.
So my grade for the offseason so far, and we know it's not done, but we're saying so far, is F. Failure.
Wow.
The first thing you had to do was to get Josh Donaldson, washed bum, off this team. Until you do that, F failed. No, I got to give him a solid B, man. They're, like you said, until they get
good.
that.
I thought you were being fucking serious.
It'll be if they add nobody else and get Donaldson and Hicks off this team, it's an A+.
Addition by subtraction.
Until they
Little math term.
improve the offense, it's a solid B, man. You can't say that it's not, dude, because right now, you know, you coming in, you had a hole at first base. Rizzo opted out. You brought him back, so you don't have a hole there. You needed another arm in the bullpen. Tommy Kingley pitched well last year, so you know that he's past the injury. Okay, you brought Tommy K back. You got Judge, and you have possibly the best rotation, if not a top 3 rotation in Major League Baseball now with Carlos Rodon. So you can't really knock what they've done so far. It'd be a different story if we're sitting here doing our spring training preview show and Aaron Hicks and Wash Donaldson are carrying NY bags into fucking George Steinbrenner Field.
Wash Donaldson.
Yeah, I mean we've been calling him that for a long time now. Washed ass bum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maybe we could hire him.
Okay. We do take former Yankees on the
he could clean my
podcast.
car because he's washed. So it seems like he knows what he's doing in that situation.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
All right, before we wrap up the show here, this came up right before we started recording. It's a complete hypothetical. I want to get your guys' take on it. It will never happen because the Yankees and Red Sox will never make a deal like this.
Never going to happen.
What was the last deal that they made? Like Kelly Johnson for Stephen Drew?
Oh, good one.
They did one since then, I want to say. It was like the
Adam
first.
Ottavino.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Cashman dumped Ottavino up there. Okay. But they're not going to make a deal on this level. Regardless of what you think of these two players, they're stalwarts on both teams. So the Yankees and Red Sox, I don't think they could ever see it. But if it was on the table and you could pull the trigger on it, Gleyber Torres for Alex Verdugo.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with Devers. Yeah, 100%. I would do that. I would do that move in a heartbeat.
I do it for the simple fact that Verdugo has become a Yankee killer, and I just don't want to face him. I do it for that simple fact. Alex Verdugo is actually a very, very good player for what he is looked upon to do. I would do it.
What if he came here and demanded 99?
Then he could.
Come on, dude.
He can.
Dr. Go vouch yourself.
99 what? You want 99 problems?
Okay.
I think
that's gonna happen.
I don't think the Yankees are going to trade Gleyber Torres. I would like to see them trade Gleyber Torres, but that's a type of move right there. I don't know where else the Yankees could make a similar type move. That's a good move right there. I hate Alex Verdugo's guts, but he's not
too much team control though. They wouldn't want to do that, right?
No, I know that. I'm just saying. I think it's a good, solid baseball move. And for the Yankees, I think he would fit this lineup really well because he's not a guy that is looking to hit 30 home runs in a year. He's kind of he's the type of guy.
He's a great outfielder too, by the way.
He sucks.
Yeah.
I just say I fucking hate him so much.
Would you give up both Donaldson and Hicks for a player with I ended there. For a player with 5 years and 21 million per year.
Why? Who's the guy?
Just answer the question.
Tell me who it is first.
It's Christian Yelich.
I heard people bring that up, dude. I don't know, man.
That's my guy. I go out and I get Christian Yelich. And I dump off my bad contracts. Even if that's not enough, I consider making a deal around Gleyber Torres. Send Gleyber Torres to the Brewers for Yelich. And you take our bad contracts. You got to take Hicks and Donaldson. It's less years, and we'll take your Yelich 5 years, 21 million.
If you're asking me, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Let's look what Yelich has done recently because he's not an MVP anymore.
Not great. No, not great.
He had
striking out more.
He hit 252 with 14 home runs last year.
But I trust him more than I would Donaldson and Hicks.
I know a lot of people mentioned this, dude. I don't know if I could, because at the end of the day, I got to look at it like this. At the worst case scenario, my commitment to Aaron Hicks ends in 3 years. Do I really want to add 2 more years onto it to just get rid of him? And Part of me says yes because it's fucking Aaron Hicks and I don't want him here. But do I want to be looking at a guy for 5 years that is already deteriorating like this? I mean, I don't know, man. It's a tough. You're basically asking me how badly do I want to get rid of Donaldson and Hicks?
Right. Because at that point, then you should have just signed Benintendi.
How about this? How about this for hypothetical? Would you rather do the Yelich deal or just release both of them and eat the money and just
That's not a bad move, Chris.
Like not take on any contract and
just
say,
Chris,
bye-bye.
That's the move.
They can do it. They can do it.
Just get rid of them.
See ya.
We made a mistake. See ya.
Like, it's just trim the fat, guys. You're doing a good job so far. You got Rodon, you got Judge back, you got Tommy Kahnle in the bullpen. Let's cut some fat now, and let's make 1 or 2 more moves and be done with it. And let's go win a fucking World Series.
The reason why the Yankees are not going to do that, okay? Would I do it? Yeah. I mean, I think that's the simplest and best way to do it instead of taking back garbage to get rid of your garbage.
Right.
This is just DFA these guys. The Yankees are like right up against the Steve Cohen tax. The threshold is 293. When you go past that, then you go into that Steve Cohen tax, whatever it is, where you get
$4 billion.
Where you get paid you get taxed dollar for dollar for every dollar you're over.
Yeah, and then you
lose
you lose more picks or something.
Okay, so the Yankees are either right at 293. They're a couple million under. The Yankees need to get a left fielder, right? We've all figured, regardless of what they're going to go stopgap or not, they need to get a left fielder. So in order to fit that salary here, they're going to have to find a way to get rid of salary. So that's why I don't think that they're going to just get rid of Hicks and Donaldson. I think they're still hoping that somebody will take some of these guys, even 25%, 30% of their contract. This way the Yankees could then fit in this left fielder that they want to get. And I think also the Yankees are looking at it like they might want to leave $5 or $10 million open throughout the course. This way, if they need to acquire somebody at the trade deadline, you can say the Yankees have went to this point, but maybe they just don't want to go past 293. I mean, they also have to look at it like that. If the Yankees are willing to go past 293, then yeah, just get rid of these freaking guys. I mean, what positive purpose is either one of them serving this team right now?
None. A defense for
Donaldson,
at least.
Hicks probably is like nice. He has he's a good friendship. That's all he brings is friendship.
If that.
And his name's Aaron.
The Yankees already have two. They have two.
Yeah, that's true. They're already they hit their quota. It's almost too much.
Yeah, but are you all right? You're paying $26 million for a guy that plays defense? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Look,
the chat's bringing up Eric Hosmer is a guy that just got DFA'd. I think it said Padres, but he got not to bring. I'm saying a guy that they cut. Just cut bait.
Yep.
And it was. I think someone said Padres. I believe it was the Red Sox that had.
Yeah, but the Red Sox owed him nothing. All the money was assumed by San Diego.
Wow.
Oh, so that makes it different then.
Oh yeah, that makes it completely different.
Then there's no
risk there.
Yeah, there's
the Red Sox were either owed him nothing or they were only on hook for like whatever the veteran minimum.
Yeah, that was
didn't know the deal enough.
That was the voice.
Not the Padres, Jesus.
Right, yeah, was pissed off.
I mean, yeah, Luke Voigt. I mean, can Anthony Rizzo play third base? Because I mean, Luke Voigt's out there. If anybody wants to take a stab at that, huh?
Okay.
So we have come now to wrap up our first year on NYYST. It's been a great fucking year. I'm glad Chris convinced me to do this and continue the show because I've had more fun doing the show this past year than I've had in previous couple seasons. There's nothing against you guys. It's just that we kind of felt like we were banging our heads against the wall in our situation and our terms of our growth. And we've seen great growth over the last year. And, that's all due to the network that Pete's built and the other shows that are on here, like the Twins and and Get Yanked and Hot Balls. I mean, these are all shows that are doing tremendous numbers. So I mean, I'm really excited for where 2023 is going to take not only NYY News TV but NYYST also. It would not be like me to not thank each and every one of you that is listening to this show, that is watching this show. Obviously, if we didn't think that we had a fan base that wanted us to continue, we wouldn't have continued. So, I mean, we've only grown that fan base. It's been great. It's been awesome interacting with you guys, even though some of you are crazy, but that you're good. It's a good crazy.
It's a good crazy. It's
a good crazy. Yeah, you're our crazy. Okay. So, I mean, we're going to take the rest of the year off to just relax and, and get ready to recharge and just break through that fucking wall in 2023, man. I'm so excited for the future of this show and the future of this channel. So,
hey, I mean, before we know it, we'll be counting down the days till pitchers and catchers report.
And it's so great that SGR came back to join us on the final show of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great being back, fellas.
So the fellas back in 2023, man, it's going to be awesome, man. So if you are still learning and trying to figure out what this NYYST thing is, man, stick around, bro. It's only going to get better.
Let's do it.
So we want to thank everybody. If you're still in the chat, please like this video, subscribe to NYY News TV. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, it's Christmas. How about a 5-star rating and review for the fellas?
Oh, right?
If it's the holiday season, man. It's been this has not been outside of this podcast, this has been the fucking one of the worst years of my life. I think if you've been following the show, you kind of know that. But we keep going for you guys. I thank you guys so much for your continued support. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. If I'm missing a holiday, I'm sorry. If I offended you by specifically mentioning holidays, I'm not sorry. Okay. It's been awesome. It's been an awesome year doing this show. I mean, like I said. So if you guys have anything you want to say, we'll wrap up for the year.
No, man. I mean, you're the voice here, and you said it all. I can't thank everyone enough. We've had so many shows drag out to, we had a lot to get off our chest, 2.5 hours long sometimes. And people are just constantly in the chat, constantly watching. SGR's fucking back. So now the hundreds of you asking me every single day, he is back. A lot of welcome back to SGR in the chat as well. And yeah, man, I mean, we got to just keep going. And look, we've been doing the show this will be our 6th season. Yankee season.
This will be our 6th full season in 2023.
Yeah, right.
We're hitting free agency next year.
That's it.
Oh,
and like
a rookie contract.
Pete,
yeah, we want to get paid.
We got to get paid, bro. I heard TY.
So I'll actually count the 7th for what I'm going to say. I'll count 7 seasons.
Yeah, but they manipulated our service time that year. So it didn't count to our arbitration.
It wasn't a full year.
Ryan was down on the farm.
Yeah, dude, I haven't even hit my clock yet.
So I guess I can use that 7th year in 2017 when we started. We've been waiting for one fucking thing, man. We've been waiting to do this show where it doesn't end in a Yankees fan therapy and it ends with us celebrating a fucking title. And not just to celebrate, but to also see where it takes us as a show and to share it with the thousands of people who have downloaded this show, hundreds of thousands of people who have downloaded this show over the last handful of years. I think this is the closest we're going to be this year, to be honest.
I just think of guys like the OG Patrick, Don Sicario, fucking Ryan, the other Ryan, Gloria's husband, my boy Joe,
Perani, got the Perani in there, bro.
Perani, remember, I don't know where he's been, but remember Scanelli. I just remember all these guys that have been with us from the fucking beginning, man, and they still continue to support us. And then the new supporters, the new fans of the show, I just think of all them, man. And we've been sharing this pain of just fucking constantly coming up short with you guys.
Mhm.
And we want to have that. We want to have that episode where the jack is flowing, the champagne bottles are popping, and we're just going ape shit crazy that the Yankees have brought home a fucking World Series, and we get to discuss it on the podcast. And honestly, man, that keeps me going as much as anything to be able to. We want to have that moment with you guys. So if you want to have it with us, don't go anywhere in 2023. We know it's always up to the Yankees and what they do, but we want to have that moment with you. So don't go anywhere.
You said it all.
All right. So on that note, happy holidays, everybody. We'll see you in 2023. I'm so happy I get to do this again. SGR.
Go Yanks.
Chris, say goodbye. Peace.